This is a short overview of the Advanced Song Chooser extension by BOULDEN Digital, and I'm the creator, Dave Boulden. The Song Chooser window I've created to aid me in the kind of gig situation I have every time I play, and that is that we run a very fast-paced show with no gaps between songs, and we can sometimes play up to 3 hours straight off without any breaks and no set list. Our singer tends to call the songs as we go, as any other band, your band leader may call the songs rather than you running to a set list. In order to facilitate this, I created the Song Chooser. I have it mapped to a widget here to actually open it. This again, you could map to hardware if you wish to. So if I click the button, it opens the Song Chooser window. You can also open it via the extensions menu. I'll just resize it here so you can still see part of the Gig Performer window, so you can see what happens. Now, I typically have this running full screen when I'm performing, and don't look at Gig Performer at all. At its most basic, this is touchscreen friendly, so I'm scrolling up and down with my fingers on the screen here. At its most basic, you can just click the play button next to each song, and it will switch to that song, as you can see in the list to the left. Where it starts to add extra features is you may be playing Enola Gay and you partway through the song, your band leader will say, we're going to go to Dakota next, in which case you can tap on the name of the song and it will bookmark it. So when you get to the end of Enola Gay, you can then select your next song and you're straight in. An extra feature the extension has is it has a widget mapped to it for switching to the next song. In this case, I have that widget mapped to a foot switch on the floor. So I could have bookmarked the next song's going to be Get Lucky, so you come to the end of your previous song and then you simply hit the foot switch on the floor and you're straight into the next song without having to take your hands off the keys. Now, where this becomes even more useful could be at the start of your set. Your band leader may say to you, we're going to start the set with Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. So you select that as your song. He may say then we're going to go straight into Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now, you could bookmark that one, but if you know you're going to queue up a few songs, then what you can do instead is to use the buttons on the right hand side here. If I tap that one for Breakfast at Tiffany's, that now gets added to the toolbar at the top, which has the queued songs. After that, he may decide that you're going to go into Disco 2000, so again hit the plus and it queues it up. He may then say the next song we're going to do after that is Good Enough by Dodgy, so we'll add that one to the list. And finally, we may say we're going to, the song after that will be Never Forget. So now we have 4 songs queued up. As we are playing each song, we may get to the end of Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and the next song to be played will be Breakfast at Tiffany's, and you just hit the foot switch and you're again, holding the foot switch, hit the foot switch to change to the next song, and straight into your next song, and so on. Holding that chord of that song, hit the foot switch, you're into Good Enough, and then similarly, again, whilst you're holding the last chord, you can very quickly tap and jump into your next song. These features give you a very quick way to queue up and select the next song you're going to play.
I don't know that one.
Thank you, Alexa. An extra feature you have, if you have a very long list of songs, you may be told next thing we're going to play is, say it was Mr. Brightside. You can actually use a search. If you click in the search bar there, it on most operating systems it will bring up an on-screen keyboard if you do not have a keyboard attached. I currently do have a keyboard attached, but I've just brought this one up to show you automatically. So we'll choose MR, Mr, and it filters it down to just Mr. Brightside. You could then bookmark it, hit the clear button, and that one is now bookmarked. And if I hit the foot switch, it switches to it. The search will search for band names, artist names and song names. So if I was to search for Queen, up comes all the Queen songs. And again, you could maybe queue them up, whatever, clear, and you can then step through them. Now I'm going to cover some of the elements of how you can configure the Advanced Song Chooser in different ways. The first thing is going to be the details it pulls from your set list. If I open one of the songs in set list mode, the chooser will pick up the song name and the artist name from the song properties. And you'll notice I've got a hyphen here and then some chords, and this is where the chord hints are configured to come through into the song chooser. I'm hoping at a later stage this can be done slightly differently and a bit more slick made, but for the moment this is a workaround which gets the feature working. So let's open, that also we have the button which opens the selector. If I go back into the panel edit mode, global, this button here, all you have to do is create a widget button and give it this specific script name, show advanced chooser, and then any widget button widget you map to that will open the song chooser, and it will also allows you to map a hardware foot switch, for instance, or button on your controller to it if you wish to. The other one is next queued. Again, another widget button, call it select next song, and then that you can then map to your hardware foot switch or button, whichever you prefer, and you can use that to step through songs using the Advanced Song Chooser. If we now open the extension, and I'll show you a few of the options it offers. This button up here is how you open the options menu. On the first screen you can actually choose the format of the clock, so you can go 24, you can just about see it changing under the modal dialog there. You can change which format you want the clock to be shown in. I tend to have 24-hour on mine, but you can choose whichever you prefer. Next thing, you can here also change your set lists. As you'll see in the background, Gig Performer is changing between set lists. This allows you to quickly change your set list without having to actually come out of the extension, go into Gig Performer and make the change. The next item down here is next pedal priority. This actually is how the chooser decides which song to switch to next when you press the next song button or foot switch, and it can simply go to the next queued song, which would be the quick list of queued songs at the top, or the next bookmarked or highlighted song, or actually you can just step through in set list order. But you can also have a hierarchy of priorities, so you could say it actually goes queued ones first and then the highlighted one, or it always does the highlighted one first and then the queued ones, or queued, highlighted and set list order. It allows you to configure the system to work the way you want it to when you're selecting the next song. You can actually have this just step through in set list order as you can do in Gig Performer already, but if you use some of the combined ones, you could say that it always does the queued songs first, then the highlighted song, and then finally, once they've all been exhausted, go back to standard setlist mode and just step through the setlist one song at a time. The next item, the chord hint text source, currently is just the chords. This will be expanded in the future to bring out further detail of each song for you to be able to choose to show or not in your song list. This next panel allows you to configure what you do and don't show in the list. You can switch the artist names on and off so you only see in the song names. You can hide the chord hints if you wish. You can hide the cue buttons if you do not want to use the quick cue system, and you can also wrap the text if the text is longer. Third panel allows you to change the colours, so you could decide that actually you don't want white text, you want that to be a slightly duller colour, and it will change that as you can see in the preview down here. You can set the colours for both the default list, one that you've bookmarked, and also the currently active song. You can also force capitalisation or leave it not capitalised. And finally, the About screen just gives you some basic information about the version of the song chooser you have installed.